Welcome. I have some questions that need answered. These questions are the gamer first questions.
First question of your first questions. What were your first thoughts on gaming and gamers? And how do you feel about it now?
Well, I didn't really encounter gamers until my senior year at high school. Now, they seemed like they were having fun. And I talked to them, and they were really nice people, very interesting. Now, it was probably my social awkwardness that I didn't actually get into gaming at that time. But nowadays I think gaming is a very great exercise in imagination and creativity. And gamers are some of the most interesting people that I know.
Alright. When did you first start gaming?
When I first started gaming, it was probably about 13 years ago when I started playing Magic the Gathering, and I got big into that, and even started playing some Magic the Gathering tournaments.
When did you first consider yourself a gamer?
Well, I first considered myself a gamer probably about 10 years ago when I was all going to a game shop 2, 3, and 4 times a week and playing a few different tabletop RPGs, as well as doing some Magic the Gathering events.
Alright. What was the first game you learned? And do you still play it?
Oh, the very first game I learned was Magic the Gathering. I learned it at my senior year in high school. I didn't start actually playing it at that time, though. I don't actively play it anymore. I still have a whole lot of cards laying around, as well as some constructed decks, and probably if anybody randomly showed up and challenged me, I'd probably play a game or two with them.
Sounds good. What was the first character you made, and do you still play them?
Oh, it was for tabletop RPG, Vampire the Masquerade. Oh, Loopy, the Schizo Malkavian. I'm not in that game anymore. I've played 2 different games with her. Or 2 different chronicles, I should say. Same storyteller for each different chronicle. I still have her shaded and advanced for play as an NPC. NPC of honor in my storyteller. In my games I storytell, yeah.
What was the first game you ran as an ST, GM, or DM?
Oh, I was a storyteller running Vampire the Masquerade game several years ago for some people that I worked with at an old job. It was pretty much homebrew evil campaign. Yeah. Plenty of hilarity, but lots of tragedy. I don't think I'll run an evil campaign again. But I've run some campaigns since, and I've tried to get my characters to stay away from evil anyway. Tried.
What was the first game you bought things for?
Well, that would be Magic the Gathering. When I started getting into that, some coworkers at an old job, I found out they played, and I was like, oh, I learned how to play that. And I bought some cards, some packs, and some pre-constructed decks, and made my own decks so I could get into it, and that led to more.
Alright. What was the first game store you went to, and where was it?
Oh, Gotham City. Oh, yeah, they don't exist anymore, but they're pretty much my first game store here in Springfield. Yeah, I played some good Magic the Gathering tournaments there, my first ones, and were also my first for gaming, for comics and gaming. They were my first game store.
What was your first con? Where was it at?
Oh, the first convention I went to was Icon here in Springfield. The first one I went to was at the warehouse. They don't hold it there anymore. Actually, I don't know where they're going to be holding it from now on. We'll find out, won't we? But yeah, I didn't really do any events there at my first con. I just kind of wandered around and saw some new faces and old faces. It's like, oh, used to game with you. You gained some weight. Yep, so did I. Whatever. But yeah, I played some Magic games and kind of got back into it. I had kind of dropped off the face of the gamer world for a while, and like, oh, there's a convention. Maybe I'll get back into something. And I did.
Alright. What was the first time one of your characters died? And how did you react?
You know, I had this character named Glenn. She was a gangrel, a vampire in Vampire the Masquerade. I gone through a whole campaign with her. We were at the big boss fight, the big boss battle, and I'd managed to get Glenn behind him and get him, his arms held back, and one of my party members was there with stake to stake him. She happened to roll 20 successes somehow, which the storyteller deemed not only drove the stake through his heart, but out his back and into mine. Or Glenn's, anyway. So, oh yeah, did I mention that this stake was one of those nails that they used to pin Jesus to the cross? Yeah, all holy and, yeah, blew us both to hell. Now, the party member doing the staking was the shop owner. Very tore up about Glenn dying, cried and everything. Yeah, we didn't want to believe that she was cheating on her rolls, somehow, magically re-rolling tens again and again and again. It can be done. Look it up. But, yeah. I was just... I didn't cry. I felt let down by the shop owner and her overzealousness to finally get that boss. I mean, we had a tough time with him the whole friggin' campaign, but the storyteller was understanding, and instead of making me make a new character for the next chronicle, he let me play the sire that I had made for Glenn, who had previously been a prisoner of that boss and was now released with his death. So I got to play Ivan and have some fun with him. But yeah, That's how I took care of the. That's how I handled the death of Glenn.
Alright. Bonus question.
Bonus question?
Who was your first replacement character, and did they avenge your original character's death?
Oh, like I was talking about, it was Ivan, the sire of Glenn. There's a story on my website that details the background of Ivan and Glenn. If you'd like to read that story, it might take you a while. But, oh, no, it doesn't go into the death because this is just pretty much a, background story for those characters. I wouldn't say Ivan avenged Glenn's death. Ivan certainly had his own adventures. Like I said, Glenn was killed by a party member in the boss battle, which we won, so there wasn't really much avenging to do. But he did carry on. He did carry on in her place.
Alright.
And is that all for the questions?
That is all for this set of questions.
Okay. Well, thank you for watching the Gamer First questions. Have some coffee.